Good evening. I'm going to call to order the regular session for the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. We do have a quorum present. Our next item on the agenda is the consideration of the minutes of the September 6th, 2022 meeting. If there are no additions or corrections, may I have a motion, please?
Move to approve.
Motion by Aram.
Second.
Second by Robert. Vote now. Motion passes 6 to 1 absence. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a public hearing. This is a consideration of a special use permit for a storage yard and a contractor's yard on approximately 35.65 acres, legally described as Lot 13, 14, 15R, and 17, Block A, ARTX Park or Artex Park Edition, located at 1227, 1229, 1237 South Railroad Street, zoned warehouse and heavy industrial district. This is requested by Josh Barton McAdams on behalf of Great North Investments LLC and Artex Corporation, the property owners.
Good evening, commissioners. So those of you that have been on the committee for some time may remember this case. So Artex in cap form has been a concrete contractor in Lewisville for a good number of years. When we adopted the special use permit regulations in 2013, they became legal non-conforming at their site on Railroad Street. They did do an expansion, not realizing that they needed to go through the SUP process. We saw that expansion and reached out to them back in 2019. An SUP, a special use permit, was approved from them on January 27th, 2020 by City Council. However, shortly thereafter, we had the COVID-19 pandemic and several of their key staff members that had worked on the SUP retired. And so the special use permit and the requirements therein were sort of dropped. And when staff followed up after the pandemic, the SUP was expired, and so they are requesting the same SUP that was approved back in 2020, and this basically allows them their expansion with some improvements, which include screening along Railroad Street, revision of the site storage to move some of it that's inadvertently encroached into the floodplain out of the floodplain, and then adding some additional landscaping on site. So overall, they will be putting more screening along Railroad Street. They are asking for 3 variances, however. One is to have existing chain link and vegetative screening remain in lieu of a screening fence along the south portion of the site where it conflicts with the floodplain. The other is to allow a reduction in the required deceleration length, as this is an existing condition. And the third is to allow that reduced landscape buffer adjacent to the deceleration lane. And again, this is based on the existing conditions that are out there, the existing parking, working with them to really make sure that the improvements that we're requiring at this time are in line with their proposed expansion or the expanded area. So staff's here if you have any questions. We also do have representatives from McAdams here as well. And with that, it is a public hearing tonight.
Okay, great. Before I open the public hearing, do we have any questions or concerns for staff or anything, discussion from the commission? No? Okay, at this time I will go ahead and open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward, sign in, and state your name. Having no one come forward, I will now close the public hearing. Commissioners, again, any discussion at all on this SUP? Okay, at this time I will go ahead and call for a motion, please.
I make a motion to approve the proposed SUP for a contractor's yard as set forth in the set forth, as Michelle had mentioned.
Okay, the motion is by Francis,
Second.
second by Alvin. Vote now. Vote passes 6-0.
Commissioners, this item will be considered by the City Council with a second public hearing and a final decision on Monday, October the 17th, 2022 at 7:00 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, having no other business, I will entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Karen.
Second.
I heard Robert, I'll go with Robert. Second by Robert. Vote now. Motion passes 6-0. We are adjourned.